What's up everyone, Reboot here. Let's talk about iOS 17. Now that beta 1 has been released and I've messed with it for a few days, I want to show you guys some of the new features and changes that I'm most excited about. I won't be going too in depth with all the new changes, so I do apologize for that, but before we get started, here's a list of all the devices that will be compatible with iOS 17. I'm actually surprised that Apple dropped support for the iPhone X. Back when I had my iPhone X, I think I had the best user experience, mostly with jailbreaking using checkra. Everything was so smooth and stable. Man, those were the good old days. But enough of that, let's go ahead and talk about the new features coming to iOS 17. Alright, so first up, if we go into our music app and we go ahead and play a song, one small thing that I did notice is that we now have this little pop-up window down here at the bottom. But the biggest change that I noticed right away is that if we go ahead and click that song, as you guys can see, we now have animated album artwork, which is so cool. It honestly makes the music app feel much more pleasing to use and makes it really come to life. Another thing that I noticed is that the status bar also changes color dynamically depending on the color of the album artwork that's behind it. After messing around with the music app for a bit and changing songs for like about 30 minutes, this Bad Bunny album cover is my favorite by far. I mean, it's not my favorite album, but damn, the animations on this thing look sick. The electricity in the background, the car on fire, the floating car. Damn, that thing just looks crazy. But yeah, this is actually a really nice feature to have, and I know it's not life-changing, but it just makes the music app much more enjoyable to use. Alright, so moving on to the messages, if we go ahead and open up the app and click on a conversation, we can see right away that we now have this little plus symbol instead of having all our messages apps laid out like we did on iOS 16. I think this looks a lot cleaner and it actually feels a lot faster and smoother to use. So if we go ahead and tap that little plus symbol, we can see that we have the camera, photos, stickers, audio, location, and then we have the more option down here at the bottom. So if we go ahead and tap that, we will have the rest of our messages apps. I don't really have anything installed on this device, that's why the list is so short. Also, if you haven't already noticed, right here is where we have that check-in feature that Apple just introduced. Alright, so to use check-in, all you do is tap on the check-in option, and then you'll go through the whole setup process. So right here it says, let your friend know you've arrived with check-in. Basically, it's letting you know that your friend or person that you share a check-in with will be notified automatically when you arrive to your destination. So we go ahead and hit continue. So right here it says iPhone will keep up with your progress. If you aren't making progress towards your destination, you'll be prompted and have 15 minutes to respond. So I'm guessing if you don't respond within those 15 minutes, your phone will probably automatically call 911 or your emergency contact. So we go ahead and hit continue there. Then you have these two options here. All you have to do is tap whichever one. I'll just go ahead and use full. We hit continue. And right here it will say your friend is notified when you send the check-in, you arrive, and if you are delayed and do not respond when you are prompted to. That's pretty much the whole setup. It's fairly quick, and then once you're ready to go ahead and send the check-in, just hit send a check-in right here at the bottom. Obviously it most likely won't work since the device that I'm sending this to is still on iOS 16.5. So yeah, I just enabled my location and then it changed to check-in is not available to send to this contact, which I'm pretty sure it's because the other devices on 16.5. I honestly think check-in is going to be super convenient for so many people, especially if you have a lot of close friends, family, kids, or loved ones, and you tell them, hey, text me when you're there or call me when you're on your way, and they always forget. So now you can have them set up a check-in so you know once they arrive to work or at their friend's house or whatever location they're going to, you will get notified once they're there. We now have audio messages that are transcribed. So right here I do have an audio that I will be sending. If we go ahead and send that, this will be transcribed in under a minute for sure, within a few seconds. I think just depending on how long that audio message is, but sometimes I don't know if it's a bug, it won't show up. So what you have to do is go back and then go back into the conversation, and right here you'll see the text of what the audio message says. So right here it says, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have any plans? I was thinking maybe we can go get some coffee. What do you think? Which is actually pretty accurate if you guys want to go ahead and hear out the message. Alright, so here is the audio message.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have any plans? I was thinking maybe we can go get some coffee. What do you think?
So that's the audio message. So as you guys can see, it is pretty accurate. We also have what Apple calls catch up. So if you are in group chats where people send a lot of messages, or if you have one of those friends that likes to text like this, then you can now hit this arrow on the top right of the conversation and it will take you to the last seen message. So if we go ahead and tap that, it should take us all the way to the very last message that we've read. Again, like I said, it's not like a whole life-changing feature, but I think it's a really useful feature to have, mostly when you're in group chats and people are always spamming throughout the day. Another really cool feature on iOS 17 17 is that instead of tapping and holding on a message to reply, you can now simply just go ahead and swipe on a message and you could go ahead and reply to them. So that makes replying to certain things a lot faster. Another small feature, but really useful, that I think I'll be using on a daily basis. What about you guys? Okay, now let's talk about interactive widgets. Oh my god, finally. So after such a long time, we finally have interactive widgets on iOS, which is super long overdue. Like, come on, Apple. I am pretty excited for these. I actually do really like the widgets. So right here on the left, we do have the music app, and if you guys can see, we now have that little play button right here. So if we go ahead and tap that, we will have the music playing now. And if you want to go ahead and pause it, you can go ahead and hit pause. So yeah, I actually really like this. It's pretty cool. I like to have widgets that are useful on my home screen. So instead of going into the music app or swiping down on the control center to play a song, you can now go ahead and hit play right here or pause. Pretty quick and easy. If we go ahead and swipe over to the right here, we do have 2 more widgets. So this one's actually really cool too. I like it because it gives you that little contact picture right here. But then you also have these little 2 buttons on the bottom left and right. So if you want, you could go ahead and quickly send a message right here just by tapping the message icon, and boom, you're done. So yeah, that's pretty quick. If you want to go ahead and do a phone call, just go ahead and tap that phone button right there, and there it is. Pretty easy to use, really speedy. And if you have someone that you want to call all the time or text all the time, then you can easily set up a widget for them, and you have these features here. I haven't seen what other widgets there is for contacts. I'm sure Apple will add more maybe in like 5 years from now, but hey, as long as we get them right. And then over here on the left, we do have reminders. So if you have tasks now or reminders that you have completed, instead of having to tap the widget and going to the actual app itself, you can now go ahead and tap the little dot right here, and it will check the reminder as complete. So, and then we do have another one over here, so we could go ahead and tap that one, and that one means it's complete as well. It is a little buggy, as you guys saw, but overall it does work. Next up, we have standby, which is a new feature coming to the iPhone. At first, my main concern with standby was what if it causes burn-in, but after using it for a bit, I did notice that it only stays on for about 20 through like 23 seconds, at least for my device that I'm using. It does look and work similar to the nightstand feature on the Apple Watch. For example, when you have standby enabled and you tap on the table, just like the Apple Watch, the display does come on. And I think this is actually really useful to have. Like, let's say if you wake up early in the morning and you just want to catch a quick glimpse of the time or the weather or like your calendar, then you could just go ahead and tap on the table and you'll have that useful information at your disposal. So to get this to work, you actually don't need MagSafe. I did read on Apple's website on one of the little articles that in order to get this to work, all you need to do is connect your iPhone to a MagSafe charger. But I'm obviously using an iPhone 11 Pro here, and I just connected it to this charging dock. Overall, I think this will be a nice addition to iOS. Let me know how you guys feel about standby and if you see yourself using it. One more that I want to mention is AirDrop, or should I say NameDrop. So pretty much what this does is that it allows you to share contact information by simply holding your iPhone near someone else's iPhone or even their Apple Watch. Your contact poster will then pop up once you have your phones next to each other. Speaking of contact poster, this is a new feature that I am pretty excited for. So if we go ahead and go into our phone app, and let's say if we want to go ahead and edit our own contact poster, we go into my card, and then right here we'll have what says contact photo and poster. So to use the poster, you will have to enable it. So to do that, just go ahead and tap this right here. And then right here, you will have the option to name and photo share your information. So let's just put reboot right here for the name. At the bottom, we could put X. So if you want to go ahead and edit the actual poster itself, just hit edit right here. It kind of looks like the menu to customize your lock screen. Swiping over to the right, I do have a few that I have messed with. I have this one right here. If we want to go ahead and make a new one, we can add one right here by tapping this plus symbol. And then we'll have the option to either take a picture by using the camera or selecting a photo. If you want to use a memoji or a monogram, so I'll just go ahead and use a memoji right here. I'll use the alien this time since that's kind of like a trending topic right now, my Vegas people. I'm gonna just use one of these, so let's go ahead and use that one. We'll hit next. Right here you also have an option to customize the width of the text, so if you want to make that really bold or wide, you can do that by sliding to the right. If you want to make it really thin or skinny, slide all the way to the left. You have a few different fonts here, nothing too crazy, but let's go ahead and do that right here. And we could also change the color, so we'll do purple, exit that out, and then we can change the background color as well. So let's go ahead and do this blue color right here. So if we go ahead and hit done, and then it gives you a preview of your poster right here if you're okay with all the changes, and hit continue. And then you can also update the contact photo, but I'm not gonna want to do that, so I'm gonna just hit skip. Right here you will have this pop-up that says use this photo everywhere. Your Apple ID and my card and contacts will be updated with this photo. I'm gonna hit not now because then it will change everything. So far I am pretty excited with the new stuff coming out, like the interactive widgets, even the contact poster. I know it's something like pretty simple, but I think it's gonna be satisfying to use. Anyways, yeah, let me know what changes you guys are most excited for on iOS 17, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.